All right, we are all live. Hey, everybody. Happy Memorial Day. Can you hear me now? Speak Truth of Love, you are live. Hey, Kimmy P, Mary O. Thank you,
Hey guys,
next. Jenny
I
Jen
hope
Jen.
everybody had a good Memorial Day. You
Sally
may
Hansen.
hear fireworks in the background because people like their fireworks here.
They do. What's up,
Yeah.
Mary O? Mary O says, whose channel is this? Real question. So it's me and Speak Truth with Love. We're collaborating. Linky Tour. Happy Memorial Day, you guys. So I'm going to give people a few minutes to saunter in. Thank you, Sally Spencer. How are you doing? Speak Truth with Love.
Good.
Good.
It's been raining a lot here, so I've been trying to get some gardening done in
Yeah.
between rain showers. So
Yeah.
that's what I did today.
Right on.
What'd you do?
What did I do? Yeah, I did things I don't want to talk about, but I got a lot of stuff done, like, organizing. I had to go run some errands a little bit and all that kind of goodness. Hi, giggles. We're not quite open yet here, but we will be in a week or so, allegedly. So yeah, it was a good day though. I had a good day. Hope everybody in the chat had a nice Memorial Day. If you celebrate, if you're in the United States and I think Canada has a Victoria Day today. Fun fact. Hi, Amanda Ray. Welcome in.
I learned today that deer will go to great lengths to eat your sunflowers. That's something that became very apparent to me today.
Because
So,
they're so delicious. Those organic sunflowers. Hey, Pepper.
so
Yeah.
my sunflower patch is not as full as it was yesterday.
Girl, I gotta talk to you. I have seed issues, seedling issues. Burnt, it's a whole thing. But we'll get there with the gardening and not here. Nobody wants to
No,
hear about tomatoes, right?
no, especially Nikki Lee. She does not want to hear about tomatoes if she comes in. If
Yeah.
she comes in, we better stop the gardening talk
No
right
gardening
away.
talk whatsoever. But that's okay. I mean, we're like the first stream we did was pretty concise. I think this one, we're not going to take up too much of your time, but we want to have some interaction with you guys. So thank you for showing up. If you want to share this, that would be awesome. If you don't totally understand, yes, send me an appreciation and much love to our veterans and men and women in uniform. Thank you so much just for your service. All the people who protect us and our freedoms, thank you so much.
And
Casey.
for the people that support the servicemen as well, the
Yeah,
kids and the wives and the husbands and moms and dads that support the servicemen because they're important too.
they are. They are. Behind every good man, there is a good wife or husband, and the same in turn. You know, it takes a family sometimes, for sure. They sacrifice a lot too. So thank you all, and I hope you all had a beautiful day. We do. All right. So, um, they say the truth will set you free, but first it will piss you off, right? I've heard that before. So
Yeah.
before that happens, let's just have a little, um, a little, what do you call it? Disclaimer.
Okay. So our disclaimer is that we're not trying to be relevant. We know that we're not. And we definitely don't have everything figured out, but we're trying to figure things out using logic, and less emotion than we have in the past. Um, we might get it wrong. So disagreement with our views
Mhm.
is very much welcome. And we're not trying to promote channels or spread hate to other channels. Although we try to say something positive about a creator when we can. And everyone in this chat is free to express their views. And the views of the chat do not necessarily reflect the views of the people on panel.
And thank you so much to the person who, helped us out with that little piece, because that's very important. Look, this is lurkers logic, right? So you might be here lurking. If you're lurking, you're welcome. If you feel free to participate, or if you feel comfortable to participate, we hope that you will. But yeah, I mean, if not, welcome in either way. So, and on that note, feel free to express yourself. I hope you
Yeah,
will.
we talked about last time how we have become lurkers in our community because things have gotten a little crazy and even
Mhm,
a little dangerous at
mhm,
times. And so the two of us independently, I mean, it's like, I'm not talking in chat, so I'm not either, kind of thing.
mhm,
And so, we just took a step back and we're just lurking in our community these days.
mhm. And you learn a lot sometimes just from observing. You can learn a lot of positive things. You can learn some negative things, but if in the end they contribute to, you know, I don't know, your education or experience or your entertainment for that matter, then, more power to you. Now, I did ask last week that if you had a topic you wanted covered, that you post it in the comments of the video. There's twofold. It encourages engagement. Yes, I'm selfish like that. But some people may not feel comfortable posting comments. So I'm trying to see if there's any way to get, another way around that without a community post for this channel since it is so small. On that note, take it away.
Yeah, let's talk about what do you call this place?
Yeah, what do you
What
call this? So,
what is the proper name for this community? Because there are several. I usually call it the Crama community, which is a mixture of true crime and drama.
mhm.
Do you have any suggestions?
Girl. So I heard, it was like true crime met up with drama and made a baby, and it was called Krama. But from the sort of stuff I've been seeing, it's kind of the true arguing community to me.
The true arguing community.
Well, all
Okay.
the art, like,
That's accurate.
there's a lot of. Okay, so Mario says Krama, like trauma, crime, and drama.
Oh, yeah.
No?
Yeah, notice the
There you
spelling.
go.
Well, Casey says just call it the trauma community.
No. So the intention here for me, anyway, hopefully, high school mean girls, testicle. The the goal, like what I would like to see happen is for us to maybe raise the bar on that. You know what I mean? But we'll see what you guys want to do. Total insanity. So are you guys satisfied with that? Are you satisfied with the total you know, dysfunctional baby from hell, Kimberly? How you doing?
Yeah.
Said Mary. Are you guys
So
satisfied with that? I mean, is that
thank you, Nick
acceptable?
says true arguing community 100%.
That's what I see a lot lately. Like sometimes I'll hear a creator discussing something cool, like I mean, what I think is cool, and it's only my interpretation, my opinion. But like they'll be talking about, what's going on in their life that they feel comfortable sharing on YouTube. It might be minimal, might be DIY projects, it might be something that, they're basically doing on their own. Like Giggles does crafts on her channel. She does really great things, really great pieces. There are other people that are into makeup and get ready with me. Yeah, there are people who do fight clubs, things like that, But yeah, what is that? It's the going to be the everyday in jail community. Oh, okay. I don't want to know about that.
No.
The fight club, says Sally Spencer. The fight club. What's up,
So
you got that?
I think I've told you this before, but I when I'm working, which I make my own hours, so I work all different hours. But when I'm working, I like to listen to mindless stuff. Like, not too cerebral, just kind of mindless. And so I have found that, lurking in this community is just something that I can play in the background while I'm working.
Yeah. Yeah. So you don't have to
So
think too
that's,
hard.
yeah, I don't have to think too hard about what I'm listening to. Very well put. Um,
Look at
but
Audrey,
what?
the Hot Mess Express community.
But it's like every day I'm like, okay, what are we talking about today?
Hmm.
Oh yeah, we're talking about um, arguing with other people in the community. That's what we're talking about.
Hmm.
We're talking about our failed relationships within the community. It's like every stream
Mm,
is about relationships with other people in the community that
yes.
aren't going well.
Yeah. What's up with that? It is. That's a thing. True Crime Loser is awesome. Check his true crime channel out. All right. Well, there are people here that are into true crime, by the way. Um, that's why
So
you can't
they
wait back to work.
so they don't listen to streams in this community.
Oh yeah, well maybe, but True Crime Loser, I've heard of that channel, but I don't know what it is. But look at there's a lot of train wrecks. People can't wait to go back to work. Yeah, I'm with you, Kimmy P, on that one. Amanda Ray, yeah, totally. But I mean, if you have a different name for what it is, like if you guys think things are going well and we're off base, let us know. Let us know where we're wrong, we're off base. I just honestly feel like the goal, I think, of this particular collaboration is to see, like, do you guys feel safe in the community? How can we feel safer in the community? And get people to participate because that's the key. The key to having a successful channel is participation. And so while lurkers are welcome, people are welcome to listen while they clean their house and all those good things. Um, I honestly did hear somebody yell at people for lurking in their chat lately, like today. Okay. It was bizarre because I'm like, who cares? You got views. But some people don't like it.
Casey says the hold my beer and watch this community.
What's this? I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna participate in, a stream, because we watch other streams outside of this community, right? And I'm involved in, another community.
Yep.
Um, we don't have any issues with participating in other communities. And
Hmm.
so, that's a problem. Why do we not want to participate in this one?
Hmm.
And why do we want to be less involved? And I would say the number one thing is the going real life stuff that's been happening, the
Hmm.
doxing and contacting, you know, people or
Their
their
jobs.
their job or family members,
Yeah.
um, you know, sharing private pictures of people from their
Yep.
Facebook, all of that stuff is one of the reasons why we are not involved.
Right. And we did cover last week the guilt by association. So I might be chatting in a chat somewhere and somebody's doing something like that. I don't want to be associated with that. So, we talked about how that wasn't fair and that sort of thing. But, you know, I still call it the true arguing community, the hot mess, the train wreck community, all those things, valid points, in my opinion. Thank you, Giggles. Some channels are not open to your opinion, says Testicle. And if Testicle. And if they see you in a chat, another channel, they automatically call you out and ask you why they're in the chat. Very common. Yep. But so on that note, is that something that you guys are accept? Like, do you accept that? Are you okay with that? Do you support them at that point or no? I don't.
Yeah, I think another question is, are people really tired of the arguing?
Oh, girl. So that's a really good question. I'll give my opinion on that. No, they're not. And the reason why I believe this, my opinion, my conspiracy allegedly, is because the arguing streams are the money makers. They're the money makers. Everybody's outraged. They're mad, right? It's going to be an argument. It's going to be a hoedown, a showdown. Let's throw down. But that being said, if they're arguing on YouTube and they just want to yell at each other, all good. In my opinion, because that is, you're keeping it on YouTube. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you can't help but notice that the streams without arguing, let's say certain people that claim to cover different content than drama, but they tend to always do drama.
Mm-hmm.
There are streams that are not about drama, don't get
Right.
a lot of views, and you don't really see the thank you for your PayPal, thank you for that PayPal, thank you for your super chat. You don't really see a lot of that happening until they're arguing with someone in a drama stream.
Yeah.
And so, that's something that, and I have super chatted before.
Of course.
But I had to ask myself, am I sponsoring people being angry at each other and cussing each other out? Like, is that what I'm sponsoring here?
Yeah.
So it's definitely I think that people maybe don't think about the fact that maybe this is happening for profit. I mean, I hate to put it that way, but in some cases, not in every case, but in some cases, it does seem to look that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It does. It does. And people have been trying to figure out that formula for years. I think we have a couple creators in our community that absolutely figured out the formula, from what I can tell. Yeah, some creators aren't bored with that. That's true. Thank you, next. Some people are just not bored with it yet. So the consensus in the chat is they're going to go where the hell they want and chat where the hell they want. It could be a self-confidence issue. Alex V says a creator who gets upset if you watch elsewhere is afraid they will lose you to someone else. I think it might be a self-confidence issue for the creator who gets upset. And I'm just going to say, as somebody who has a channel, I do see where people chat and I think about it, right? But it doesn't break my heart. It doesn't make me think, oh, that Mary, what is she doing? I watch, I look around and see what's up. I want to see what makes people happy and what makes them unhappy so we can have topics to cover here as well. Hey, Lolo. So let's see. Alex V says, sorry, I bypassed that. Maybe it's different for each creator. Casey, I can see how so much control there are some. And there are also people who believe that the pie is only so big, which it might be. But I am a firm believer that people, the pie is big enough. If you're doing something that people care about for whatever reason, they'll cut you in. And if they don't have the money, oh well, you don't have to be there for the money. Ooh.
I just think I would feel better about myself if I were a creator. If people super chatted me because they really appreciated the quality of the content that I was
Mhm.
making, and not just, oh yeah, they're being mean to you. Here's some money. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that's just, that's just not for me.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a question I don't want to ask Testicle. But yeah, you're right. I mean, sometimes I feel like people will just throw money at someone because they're a victim. And sometimes we can be a victim of our own circumstance. And I can tell you a little story about that. Can tell you a little story about that, and I will. Um, why can't they get pissed at the crime stuff and act mad about actors that do stupid stuff? I don't know. Because it is like community posts are turning into battlegrounds. I mean, it's easier just to go fire up a live, especially if you're monetized and you're going to rage and you know the formula, man. You can make money. People make money on here. And if that's your goal, then you may be more outraged by basic things than the general guy, or girl. Like, for example, I'm sorry, a lot of us have had really shitty things happen to us. You're not going to know about it because I don't want to overshare. I don't need to make my problem your problem. And I don't need it used against me later on. So there's that.
Yeah, there's a
Thank
lot
you,
of that.
Meester. Thank you, Meester. There is.
There there was someone this week that was just oversharing. And I just wanted to say, please don't tell anyone anything else about your
Mhm.
personal life.
Mhm.
Oh, it was painful. It was so
Yeah.
painful to listen to because I don't think that they realized that they're just sharing too much on here.
Yeah. It can bite you in the booty real quick. Let's see what's up here. Okay. Sorry, I had to check something real quick. Thanks, but no thanks. Thanks for no, but no thanks for what, Casey? I'm a little slower paced over here than on my channel because, listen, Speak Truth with Love is a very detailed person. Do you guys remember when I used to talk about my attorney Dick? Everybody meet Dick.
She means that I'm bossy. I think that's her way of saying I'm bossy and
No,
opinionated.
organized, organized. Um,
Okay.
I
Detailed.
appreciate it. Detailed is good, yeah. But also, I appreciate the fact that you want people to be able to participate. So we might only talk about a couple of topics, right, over the course of an hour or so, but we're going to hopefully be able to engage with everybody in the chat on those topics. So if you are chatting and not just lurking, you know, you're contributing to the overall community, whatever it is. If it's a true arguing community, if it's the trauma community, if it's all that stuff. Y'all remember that. Y'all remember Dick? His name is Richard. He hates it when I call him Dick. Shout out.
Who remembered that?
Yeah.
Did
I
somebody
think
in
it's
the
been
chat?
testicle, I think. I think. I don't know for sure.
All right. So I think the consensus is there are many names for this community, but I still think that the true arguing community is the best name. It feels like the chat agreed with that. I could be wrong.
Yeah, and Casey makes a good point for me. I don't care how much money it could earn me. It ain't happening. I agree. It's not worth it. But yeah, true arguing community works for me because that's
True,
mostly what I see.
the true arguing for profit community.
Yeah, for nonprofit. And I love it when I'll go to somebody's channel. I might not like them, right? As a what they normally do. But I'll keep giving them a chance as a lurker. And I'll hear them talking about some basic stuff that, interests them. Movies or, a DIY thing or whatever. And then all of a sudden they start ripping on someone. And then it becomes a true arguing stream. So I know we have it in us. I don't know if it's ever going to happen because it is quite lucrative to have a perpetual argument. And it's a long term argument, it's a commitment. So, yeah, they're committed, yo. So, yeah, there's that whole fun stuff going on. But yeah, I mean, I think that's a general consensus. True arguing community. You guys can call it whatever you want. I know a lot of people go with Krama, but until I see less arguing, that's what's going to be for me. Um, so let's see. What did I want to talk? I wanted to talk about something that happened to me this week. And it sucks. But um there have been, let me see. So I'm on this app, right? And it's a music app, but you can stream mixes, music, things like that. And I'm not streaming there. I was just listening, hanging out. And you can actually talk with the people who are creators. So it's a lot like a platform like YouTube, but not YouTube, and that we're streaming music and things like that, or they are. And so I go like to all these different channels, if you will, and I don't know who else is in the channel, just like YouTube, unless they're talking, right? And I don't know any of these people. So I say to this, like these people, I'm like trying to ask questions because I want to know, is this like a thing that I might want to do later? I don't know. I'm going to dedicate more time to my YouTube channels and stuff, but like, is that something I want to do down the road? Because, I do some things like that. So I'm like, wow. I make a comment. I say, I think this app is busted. And everybody in that chat is like, oh, yeah, really? Is it? Oh, da da da. Now, the person who's streaming is not paying attention. They don't see my comment, apparently. They don't know what I said, whatever. She is doing something totally different. She comes back and looks up. I'm paying attention to what she's doing. She's not paying attention to what's going on her stream because she's busy trying to run stuff. And she reads my comment that says, I think there's a problem with the app. I literally have tried to talk to like 5 or 6 people. No one has responded. I think something's off. The whole chat has agreed with this, okay? And she says, I kid you not. Well, listen, that is a very negative mindset.
Okay.
And I'm like, now you have to keep in mind, I have gone to this person's stream before. I have contributed money to their cause and all that sort of thing, right? So I'm thinking in my mind, they might be familiar with my screen name. Okay. But apparently, no. She was defensive. She was irritated. She may have just been having a bad day. Either way, she took what I said to mean that she was doing something wrong and that I thought the app sucked. And so,
Oh, you were complaining.
and so I tried to say, no, 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 no. I don't mean it. I'm typing. I don't mean it like that. All I'm saying is from a technical perspective, and my experience throughout the day, there's a lag and there's something not matching up between what you're doing and what we're getting. And then she really lost her mind. Like how I was negative and I was only seeing the negative things and why would I blame the app and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, I could blame you. I'm thinking in my head, I could blame you. But I didn't say that. So what I did was in the chat, because I don't have a way outside of this to communicate with her. I don't know who this person is, nor do I care. And no harm, no foul. I just said, listen, I am so sorry. Like, I feel like that's a misunderstanding. I apologize. Well, she thought apparently that I'm trolling her, that I'm just giving her a hard time. I'm just an evil, negative person. So what it was a miscommunication. And I don't know if any of you have noticed there have been some things said in chats lately that have been taken from a chat, like a screenshot, this sort of thing, and been used on a channel to say, this person said this in a chat. This person said this about me in a chat. This person said this about so-and-so in a chat. And it might be a miscommunication, right?
Right.
In the scenario I'm describing, I had absolutely no way to go live on my YouTube channel because they're not connected and say, listen, lady, I am so sorry that happened. So there's no context to my text. Now, if it happens here on YouTube, let's say I write something in a chat and it's interpreted a way that I don't want it to be interpreted and the person freaks the F out. I think I would go on my channel and explain it. And I kind of have before. I have done this before where somebody was saying I was a certain type of way. I had to explain the history and the story just to make sure that people weren't freaked out. And so I wanted to bring that topic up because I've been seeing that happen in chats lately where people will get a screenshot and they might be right. It might have been a comment towards them. They might be wrong. But if you're the person who made the comment, can you find a way, maybe, to clarify what you meant by it so that someone else isn't losing their mind? Because that's all I wanted to do with this woman on this other app. And I could do it on YouTube.
Well, the first thing I notice about while I'm listening to your story is that your response to the creator was not to be defensive.
I was trying to do her a solid and say, hey, I think there's something wrong here. Like,
yeah, but even though she misinterpreted you, you weren't defensive about it. You know, you were like,
in my head, I was pissed. In my head, I was pissed. But in writing, what I said is, oh my goodness, I am so sorry. That's not at all what I meant. Because also the chat turned on me when she did. And I was like, ew. And I said, let me make this right because it's the only thing I can do is just say, I'm wrong. You're right, to make her not suffer. I felt like she was suffering in her stream. It sucked.
Yeah, you didn't mean to be disruptive.
No.
But the way that you handled it was in my opinion, was the right way.
It's the only thing I could do. It was humiliating.
And you tried to clear it up instead of getting all pissed about it. You know?
Well, she was really angry, girl. So I wanted her to be okay. But I've seen things like this happening in the last week or so on here. Maybe 2 weeks. I don't know. I'm not keeping track of the days yet. And I'm just wondering, like, what would I do if that happened here? Because it hasn't been happening to me because I'm not chatting in chats, right? But it could. And I'd like to think that I would probably have to go live or go and see if I can get on their panel and explain, hey, now, I know this looks like a whatever. This looks like I'm trying to mess with you. But I'm not. I wasn't giving you negative feedback. I was giving you information because your whole audience was having a bad experience that you probably don't intend them to have. Does that make sense? Am I losing it?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think that's another thing that happens all the time is things get misinterpreted. I mean, you can't explain yourself completely in a chat. And when people do that, it kind of gets on my nerves. Like when people write huge paragraphs in the chat, so sometimes things are left up for interpretation,
Write paragraphs in the chat, you guys. It gets on her nerves.
And in this a true arguing community, it does seem like it's gotten a lot worse. Like every little thing that you type can be turned into a really big deal and be completely not what you were saying. You can be accused of saying something that is the opposite of what you were saying. And someone might go live based on a misinterpreted comment that you made in a chat, which is crazy.
Yep. And it does happen probably more than I'd ever noticed, because a lot of the times when I'm lurking, I'm not even reading the chat. But we know that there are creators who have supporters who screenshot everything, right?
Yep.
And I'm sorry, there's a motivation to take this from live to live and become a victim sometimes. There is a motivation sometimes to become a victim. And sometimes people might feel like what you said is bad or harmful. So how do you fix that? How do you explain it? Like, as somebody who doesn't go live on your own channel right now, speak truth with love.
Yeah.
How would you do that? How would you explain it or fix it?
I mean, I think the best scenarios I see is when someone takes what you say the wrong way. The other person, the person that was misunderstood, tries to explain it, and they say, "Oh no, I didn't mean it like that. This is how I meant it." And they just try to fix it. I have seen people that are just like, "Screw you, that's not what I said." Why don't you block me if you don't like what I'm saying? Just like stuff like the defensiveness, instead of just, hey, you may have misunderstood me.
Right.
Try that first before you get all pissy about it, maybe.
Yeah. And I'm not saying I kissed her ass. I'm going to say I kissed her ass because it really ruined her day. Like, she was having a bad time. When I thought about it after the fact, I'm like, she was having a bad time. So I really, really just sucked it up. You know what I mean? I took it because she had no way to know. She was confused. I don't know. Maybe she was taking a little sauce. I don't know. But something was off. So I just had to try to make it right. But yeah, I think it's hard too. If you try to go in someone's chat and they blocked you because they saw you write something bad in the chat, like, how can you explain yourself? You can't even go into their channel and say anything. So maybe if you're going to call someone out for their behavior, don't block them. Let them come in and address it. And maybe have them, they could come on your panel if you have a panel.
Yeah. Let people explain themselves. Let them make it right, if they can.
Yeah. You got Gap said she says she doesn't go live. All she can do is try to explain it in a chat by typing a damn paragraph. She's very nice about it.
If I see you got Gap typing a paragraph, I'm going to know that they're having to explain themselves to somebody.
There was just an oopsie. Just an oopsie. Yeah, that's true, Sin. People do usually around here assume the absolute worst when anybody makes a questionable comment. Ugh. But are we going to accept that? Or are we going to raise the bar? What are we going to do? What should we do?
I don't think we can raise the bar. I think that we, I think what would be good to do is just encourage people to not be so freaking touchy about things.
Yeah.
How about that?
Well, and everybody has a bad day, and there is this whole freaking like quarantine and shelter in place and, shutdown of things, people losing their jobs, losing their incomes, things like that. There's a lot of stress. People are locked in their house with their husbands or their husbands and their kids or their wives or their whatever, so there is a lot of that. But why add to that? Why add to that? Why make it worse for everybody?
Well, and I think that Testicle is made the best point is that everyone is on defense.
Yeah.
And I think everyone's on defense right now because of all the arguing and fighting.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally questioned your name when I first saw you come in my channel. I'm like, who is you got gapped? What does that mean? And it was explained to me. So, yeah. But it's okay to ask a question, just don't assume something, right? Yep.
Right.
And a lot of people don't feel comfortable emailing someone to clear that says thank you next. That's true. That's true. I wonder why that is.
Yeah.
But I digress.
So, some people misinterpret things. And
Mhm.
I've been trying to interpret some things myself this week. And I've been trying to understand the interpretation of the word cyber stalking in our
Mhm.
community.
The word
Because,
or the legal definition, because there's
yeah, I mean, the word is being used a lot this week.
how's that?
Yeah. But
Yay.
I mean, people in this community have been using this word a lot, but this week especially.
Okay. So what's the
And
scenario for cyber stalking?
I mean, cyber stalking is basically harassing someone online.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But just because someone disagrees with you
Mm-hmm.
and they want to chat about it or make a reaction video or talk about it in a Discord, God forbid,
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't mean that they're cyber stalking you. You may not like the fact that they disagree with you and that they're expressing their opinions about your content,
Mm-hmm.
and they're disagreeing with you, but it doesn't mean that you're being cyberstalked. Because I mean, people are allowed to have opinions about the content that you put out there.
Mm-hmm.
At least I thought we still lived in a free country. I don't know. Have we lost
No.
the right, the freedom of speech? I don't know.
No. I mean, and one of the good things to have on your channel, I'm a teeny tiny channel, so I can't really attest to this, other than I pay a lot of attention to what YouTube says they want, right? And what YouTube says they want is interaction. What YouTube cares about is impressions. They care. Did somebody find your video? They care. Did somebody leave a comment? Did somebody leave a thumbs up, a thumbs down? They want to know, are you making impressions, especially when you're monetized? Because that's how advertisers bid these ad packages and they decide what you're worth, right? By the minute. And so if you get a lot of comments, so you stir a lot of controversy, you might get a lot of comments and things like that. You want people commenting in your stream. But if you put something or in your comment section, if you have it open, but if you go to your own stream and you just say, look, I don't agree with you, speak truth with love. Like that thing that, your interpretation of this doesn't meet my interpretation of that. And therefore I unsubscribe. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
totally their choice. But to accuse you of committing a crime because you had a disagreement with me, that's weird. In my opinion, it's weird. I think it's odd.
Well, I tried to, look up cyber stalking,
Okay.
and I mean, I don't think I need to. I'm pretty sure everybody in here pretty much knows what that is. I mean, you're harassing someone online, but the intent to frighten someone has to be there for it to be cyber stalking. And
Well,
everything
now
that
Brian
I
St.
read
John is
about it.
cyber stalking me because he says boo. I'm frightened. Just kidding. Bye bye.
So, for the intent required in a cyber stalking charge is the intent to cause real fear for someone's
Mm-hmm.
safety.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that, laws are different on a state by state basis,
Mm-hmm.
but the victim, if you're a victim of cyber stalking, there needs to be a fear for their safety
Yeah.
for it to be cyber stalking. If anyone understands the law differently, please, let me know, because I could be wrong. But public disagreement is not cyber stalking.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you're trying to cause real fear for a creator, well, yeah, you should stop that. Don't do that anymore because you could be charged with cyber stalking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's
But,
the same thing as like digging people's stuff up and bringing it into YouTube, stuff they're not talking about. Their real
right.
information, all the things that they're trying to protect, their family, things like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've heard several creators say that they're being cyber stalked, right? But this week, there was a creator who named specific people that are cyber stalking them, and they named one person in particular and said that that person was cyber stalking them. And the problem is that the day before that, the same creator was making fun of her so-called stalker, taunting her stalker and telling her stalker to come into the chat because they weren't blocked. It's like, you're not blocked in here. Come in here and say something.
So is the stalking new? Did the stalking start on the day they started addressing it? Like after they taunted the okay, so they had already had some sort of relationship with this person.
Right.
Online.
There is a history. Yeah, there's a history. I would say pretty long history between them. But
sorry, not relationship history. That's a better. Okay,
yeah.
got you.
But that's just not what I think that I should do if I'm being cyber stalked. I think that those are the wrong things to do for me. And probably legally.
Well, this is why you're
taunting taunting your stalker and telling your stalker to come into your chat because they're not blocked is probably not a good way to handle your stalker.
It might not help your case, right?
Yeah, that's not going to help your case. And you're clearly not in fear for your safety if you're taunting your stalker, right? I mean, am I crazy?
No. I mean, yes, you are crazy, but not about that, no. No, you're crazy about other stuff, but not that, no. I think I mean, it makes sense to me that you wouldn't necessarily, yeah, I mean, the idea of somebody stalking you is that you're scared. I mean, if you've ever had a real life stalker, which most of us have, right? They'll show up in the weirdest places, like on your car at work or in the parking lot of some place where you're going with friends or whatever. And it is weird and creepy. And, you don't engage with those people. You might tell them to get the hell out of your life, like leave you alone. But beyond that, no. You go to the police, you get your protective order, and the first thing they'll tell you is don't talk to them, don't acknowledge them. If you see them, call 911, leave the scene, da 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 da. I've had that happen in real life.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, I would say, especially if you're a creator and you feel like you're being cyber stalked, I would say if I were a creator feeling like I'm being cyber stalked by someone, the first thing I would do is I would block them.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to do that.
Right? And I definitely wouldn't be inviting them into the chat.
Yeah.
Which would be silly if they were blocked. And then I wouldn't talk about them publicly. I wouldn't taunt them. I wouldn't make fun of them. I wouldn't call them names. I wouldn't cuss them out. I would not engage at all.
Yeah, Testicle makes a good point on that. Typically, if you have a cyber stalker, you'll get a restraining order. Therefore, you can't have contact.
Right. I mean, it diminishes the meaning of the word cyber stalking when you just use it for anybody that disagrees with you and, people that come into your chat and talk to you or, disagree with you in your chat. People that that do reaction videos to you, or they talk about you in Discord, don't diminish the meaning of cyber stalking. If
Mm-hmm.
you're not in fear, use a different word. That's what I would do. I definitely would not use the word cyber stalking just because somebody decides that they
Yeah.
don't like me and they want to make funny
Make
memes
fun of
about
you.
me in a Discord.
Yeah.
you know
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that one. British Shippy says she hasn't spoken on here about it, but let me tell you, nobody on here has any kind of case. That's from the chipster. It seems
yeah.
that way, right? I don't know for sure, but it sure seems that way. And it also seems like Brian's having an existential, oh my God, existential crisis over the Fresh Prince of Bel Air for some reason. I don't, but yeah, I mean, I'd have to agree with that. I don't know the whole cyber stalking thing because I'm just gonna say from starting my channel, when people came in and they were hard to deal with, I just blocked them.
Yeah.
And that was it. It was a one and done. Block the house, done, over with. I didn't have to deal with it anymore because I didn't want to be on that argumentative role going back and forth because I just don't give two shits. You know, it's hard when you don't care to be passionate about it. Well, looky what you stumbled upon, Ash274. How you doing? Happy Memorial Day to you, all you guys that missed us in the beginning. We did say Happy Memorial Day. Hope that you in the United States had a good Memorial Day. Those of you in Canada, a good Victoria Day. British Chippy, the way I dealt with someone took 2 years and you did everything right. Yeah. My real life stalker, the one that showed up everywhere, went to jail because he actually injured someone else.
Wow.
Yeah. He was kind of known by the police in that area. And yeah, I don't know. They had to keep me updated for how on how long, for like 5 years, but I haven't heard anything in the last couple years. It's weird, and it
And
can
I
be
mean,
it can happen to anybody for any reason.
we're talking about cyber stalking, and I feel like real life stalking would be more scary. I mean, to me, I would rather it, not be
Well,
someone near me.
usually cyber stalking will turn into can it has the likelihood to turn into real life stalking. That's why I
Right.
think it's so important not to diminish the meaning, right?
Right.
Because there are
Yeah.
people who know tips and tricks and pro tools to do actual cyber stalking. There are people who have, they'll pay to stalk people and harass them and stuff like that. And it would normally lead to something probably in person, like them taking a photograph of themselves getting off on your exit. I've seen that stuff on YouTube. So, how about no?
Yeah, and I
Mm,
think that
it is.
the people, you know, that have been blamed for cyber stalking recently in this
Mhm.
community, um, I mean, hopefully they are not doing anything to cause anyone to be afraid for their safety. Um, and if that doesn't apply, if you're not doing anything to make someone afraid,
Mm.
just I would say, don't let someone use that term to censor you and silence you from speaking how you feel about, their content. If you
Mm.
want to talk about somebody's content, you're allowed to do that. If you want to do a reaction video, you're allowed to do that. The problem is, it gets back to our original topic, which is it causes so much arguing,
Yeah.
So, that's up to you
Hey, Potty Mouth
because,
Farmer.
the moment that you speak, how you feel about someone else's content, then, they're going to start up a live, and that's how the
Mhm.
arguments start. So that's another thing to keep in mind, I guess.
And we have arguments in this community that started a year and a half ago. That is a long-term argument, okay? And it has morphed and taken on many heads and arms and all these other things. So some of these go on and on forever. But a couple things. First of all, Ash says her lawn is actually being stalked. She says she's not even kidding. It's a real thing.
Okay.
I wish I could help out with that. That sucks. But Testicle says, who lurks? They're asking a question. Who lurks for the sake of not getting blocked and saving your time for when you have something really good to say? Anybody do that?
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, there are times that I'm like, well, if I say anything in this chat, I am going to get blocked. So I might as well just
Yeah.
lurk
Keep it
some
to
more.
myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
So but the weird thing is, I mean, isn't if you guys okay. So Testicle lurks so that they can save up their time for when they have something really good to say. There are people in the community that don't chat as much because they don't feel safe in various channels, or they don't feel like it's cool for them to talk in that channel, or they're going to be judged for being in that channel, right? And at the end of the day, YouTube is encouraging interaction with your people. So don't you want them to feel welcome enough to come in and chat? I do. I hope that people do. And if they want to lurk, that's fine too. But I would like people to interact because it's going to grow my channel, my stagnant ass channel. Hey, Patty Mouth. I hear somebody over there type in the house.
Is that me? You hear me typing?
Yeah. So let's see. Ash says, I think they got the wrong grass. I actually Google map my house to check my roof for grass because I don't look at my roof like ever. Why would you? Get a ladder. Yeah, that's pretty exciting. Hmm. Is that a concern for you though, Ash, about the grass and the wrong grass? And I hope not. I hope you're okay with that. So, Ash says that's too much work. I'll let you read her comment.
Yes, maybe her stalker will come and remove the grass from her roof for her. Would that be a form of bad stalking or good stalking?
Um, it'd probably be bad because you don't want people
Okay.
showing up at your house.
I'm kidding.
I know. Um, Morning tea combos. Your video was so cute. Oh, of the Corona, the old one. I could do that with her. She's just a crank in the morning, though. She's got her face covered right now. She don't even want to hear anything I'm saying. But on that note,
Yeah, I don't want to forget to talk about last week. I think it was Tally Girl asked us, but more like you, since you know what you're talking about, is talking about channel memberships and kind of the pros and cons, I guess, of channel memberships. And
mhm,
since you have one of those,
mhm.
what thoughts did you have on that?
Um, okay, so it's interesting because basically there are things that YouTube is expecting out of you when they offer you that and you accept it, right? Like they have to approve your emojis, they have to approve your badges, they have to approve what your perks are, things like that. They want to make sure they're not busted in terms of service, right? Um, you're funny, Kimberly. Um, Sorry, I moved on from that. But yeah, that's hilarious. I'm sorry. That comment was so good, Kimberly. But that being said, I mean, when I saw the offers, when I saw the email and I read through it and I looked at everything, I thought to myself, okay, this is going to be a thing because in other communities that I've been a part of, um, you have a scenario where let's say there's 50,000 members on this channel. They got offered this as an initial beta test. A few people did a year and a half or so ago, not in this community, by the way. And, at the 50,000 subscriber level, they don't have a lot of time to interact with their chat. They're just reading super chats because they might have 3,000 people in their chat. If they're active, they're uploading videos every day. They're doing work on their channel, right? But at 1,000 subscribers, you have a lot of intimate connections that you can make in the chat, just like we can here. We can mostly read comments until I'm flapping my gums, running my mouth about what's going on, right? Or what my opinion is. So, I mean, I'm not exactly sure what her debate, like point counterpoint was for the membership button. But I read through everything. I had to do I had to do the thing. And so I understand how it works. I don't think any necessarily more or less of people, if they are members, I appreciate it if they can be members. If I'm not delivering enough value for what they're paying and they need to not do it, or they decide they just don't want to, that's fine. I think interaction really comes into play when you're a tiny channel. So if you can do it, great. If you can't or you don't want to, that's cool too. And you want to interact, hopefully you feel safe enough to interact. That's the point. So what was the negative? Is there a negative side of this?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that what I've heard some creators, they're a little bit apprehensive about the fact that people that don't like you can join your membership. And
Uh-huh.
so if you're trying to have private streams, that makes it not so much fun because it's not like Patreon. You
Mhm.
can't remove people from your membership. So I
Mhm.
think that's the only con that I've heard so far.
Thank you, Brian. Okay, yeah, that's true. I mean, that's one of the things that you really can't do. Like they tell you can do members only streams, but it's really a members only chat. So, but here's my argument against that. If you want it to be private, why are you on YouTube?
Right.
Like if you wanted to own, like if you want to put up a paywall, why don't you just set up a Patreon and do it that way? Go to Venmo because there are creators that are still smaller channels, like in the 50,000 range, where they do their private videos to reward their supporters on Vimeo, sorry, Vimeo, not Venmo. And you don't see that unless you're part of their Patreon. Now they're not super paranoid. They're not freaking out and saying, "Oh my God, I don't want Speak Truth with Love to watch my stream." They don't care. This lady shows up on camera with no makeup. She don't give a shit because people enjoy her. They like her. Nobody's really like giving her too hard of a time. And if they were, we wouldn't know about it. So, in my opinion, if you want to do private streams that are not open to the public, then you would just do that like in a Discord. You would just stream to your friends in a Discord, put it on unlisted, share the link, they can come in.
Okay.
The membership button is just an added revenue stream. It's some way, it's all marketing. It's only marketing. In my opinion, it's a way to get creators to be more accountable to their subscribers and their subscribers to spend money on Google, period.
Yeah. And it definitely adds to the pressure for a
It
creator
does.
to
And
stream more
it does.
because,
I
that's what
feel
people
guilty right
expect.
now. I haven't been able to do games at all, and I feel guilty as hell right now. Um, and yeah, the whole emojis thing and all that stuff, I can't deal with them looking like crap. They have to look right. I'm very picky about that kind of stuff. But it does put more pressure. It makes people more accountable, in my opinion. It's up to the people who are supporting the creator to hold them accountable. Hey, I'm paying you $1.99. I'm paying you $4.99, $9.99. Where the hell are you, asshole? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's also up to the creator to try to be responsible, I think, and keep people updated on, I'm not going to be able to do what I wanted to do as frequently, but here I am, here are updates, whatever. But
So that would be a good use of a community post instead of fighting with people in your community post.
yeah,
You could actually use it just to keep your members informed.
yeah, and you can do
I'm
members
being
only posts.
sarcastic.
No, but you can do, yeah, I missed your sarcasm. You can do members only posts. Um, and some people do members only posts and then they'll wait a while and then post the same thing to everybody. Um, I don't know what you're talking about, Brian. But yeah, I mean, some people will do that. Other people, I guess, do members only posts. I don't have memberships on a lot of channels. There are some people I'm hoping do add that button that I like, and I absolutely would support them. If people support me, I'll support them back. It's just, I think it's a colleague type thing. It's like a respect thing. But oh my gosh, Ash and Brian have a little thing going on. But yeah, I mean, I think that it does make you more it should, in my opinion, make you more accountable, but it might not, depending on what your expectations are of the creator. But there are
Yeah.
rules. There are rules that go
I
along with it.
I think most people, once they start paying, even if it's $2, they're gonna
Yeah.
expect some pretty regular content.
Yeah, I mean, probably. I don't, but that's me.
So get to work, Eritrea. Come
I know.
on.
I know. Thank you so much. I'm on my third.
Kidding.
I'm on my third heat sink on my computer. I can go live on StreamYards and just talk, BS and stuff like that. But I find that I'm very boring when I'm just BSing. I like the notion of having an idea to discuss and that sort of thing. And I do think that I owe some vape chats, like if people want to talk about vaping and things like that. But I really, as far as like games and things like that, that's my perk. That's about the only perk I can offer because I want to be quite honest with you. Does anybody really, like really, really want to give their address to anybody on here to mail them something other than a couple of
No,
creators? There's
no,
a
thank
couple.
you.
There's a couple people. Outside of those couple people,
I mean, Eritrea doesn't have my address. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't. Who are you anyway? I don't even
what's
know you anymore.
what's your real name? When are you going to tell me what your real name is? I've
Yeah,
known you forever.
forever and ever and ever.
Um, so that was very helpful with
Gee,
the join
Testicle
button.
says, do you think creators are considering the sub's opinion in this chat? I don't know. I don't know. I hope so. I hope the subscribers' opinions are considered. Casey says, hell nah. I think Jenny Jen Jen's saying not really. I don't know. You got gapped. I think you guys are answering Testicle's question, right?
Everybody plays nice at first. That's what Casey says. Yes, her legal name is Eritrea.
Duh. You had someone close to you get offended because you wouldn't give your address out. What?
Yeah,
That's one
I
reason.
always
The baby Yoda.
I always
Ah,
wonder that with the giveaways is like, how are you gonna get this to me? Do I have to
yeah,
give you? Do I have to get a PO box? How
yeah.
does this work?
I mean, in vaping community, it's not an issue because people are not. If they're assholes, it's low key assholes behind the scenes. You would be ousted for the behavior that you see over here in the arguing community. Okay, in the drama community, the subscribers are pretty comfortable giving their information to certain people. I think if they know them. But yeah, this melding, not so much. This what do you call it? Step bastard baby community now. But she
The
answers to Sippy Sip too. I do. I answer to Sippy Sip. How'd you know that? Can't barely. Um, yeah. So I mean, unless they're gonna PayPal you, they can keep it. That's another thing.
Yep.
People can do electronic, like you can do gift cards and things like that. If you want to invest cash in your channel, but what you don't want to do is you don't want to create a scenario where you're asking people to pay you money in order to get cash back, because then that's looked at like a lottery. So it ain't happening because that's against terms of service. If you want to get your channel terminated, run a lottery. That's a pro tip from me to you. Okay, that was cheesy as shit. Next on the docket.
Yeah, I didn't want us to forget, like last time we tried to give credit to someone in the community that said something positive or helpful.
Is this a recurring segment?
What?
Is this going to be a recurring segment, you think?
I think it should be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So this time we want to give credit to Kimmy P. She was on a
That's
panel.
ADD.
Yeah, Kimmy P has ADD.
Nice.
She was on a panel this week, and she was, letting a YouTube creator know. I don't know if the YouTube creator heard it or not, but she just let a YouTube creator know that she misses the content that creator used to have before they got involved in all of the arguing.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that,
That
especially
takes some balls, man.
yeah, based on all the stuff that we talked about earlier, making fun of things by talking about the real name of this community is the true arguing community.
Mm-hmm.
She just let her know,
Yeah.
before all of the arguing, I really liked your content and I miss it. And
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a pretty cool thing to say.
Mm-hmm. It is. It takes guts to be able to, say that if you have a channel and she has a channel. So that's good. Good for her. Good for Kimmy P. She's awesome. Hang on one second. Jenny Jendon wants to know, how can we trick a certain creator into doing a lottery then? I don't know. That's all you, girl. That's all you. I have no idea. She said that last night and they made fun of her. Well, then, that's on them. Like, look, I got told that my vaping was annoying, okay? Have you heard me vaping? No.
Yeah.
So,
She may have missed last week. We gave credit to Makeup Mobster for talking about how annoying vaping noises is on a stream, which kind of stepped on Eritrea's toes a little bit.
but the
But I
chat
haven't
didn't
heard.
totally disagree either.
Yeah, but I haven't heard you vaping on
Right.
this stream. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
girl. And my coil is so loud tonight because I just changed a new one. But I actually thought about it like a little bit more because I have a way around it. So I don't have to mute all the time. But I'm trying to be nice. You know what I mean? It can't. Well, and that was the interesting thing, Jenny Jen. Some people have earbuds on and it like blows their eardrums out. So it can be for some people, not for everybody, but for some people it is. So we had that little debate last week. Not debate, but conversation, I should say. So on that note,
Casey misses the sound of you vaping in her ear at night. It is so soothing to her.
That girl is lying. I was probably baked like a cake those nights. Um, but that being said, so I wanted to kind of like we're trying to keep this in around an hour, and of course we went over because I have a big mouth. I'm talking a lot, but I wanted to say so. What I think we're going to do because we want to be mindful of other people in the true arguing, true crime, drama, whatever community when they're going live and stuff. I think Monday's going to be our jam. What do you think? You want to do every Monday? Because we talked about Wednesdays, but
Yeah. Yeah, I think Monday will probably work. Hopefully we won't have to change it, but
hmm
we'll try to do Mondays and see what happens.
hmm
If people want to hang out.
yeah, this is different because it's a holiday, right? For us here. I'm pretty flexible right now, unfortunately. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Next. Yeah. So yeah, also I wanted to say thank you to everybody who came in the chat. I think we're gonna wrap it up. But
And thank you to the lurkers cuz
yeah,
we encourage lurking and participation as well.
yeah. And um I mean, I don't know. Someone made a comment, a good friend of mine, that maybe people don't feel comfortable leaving suggestions in the comment section
Yeah.
about what we should talk about. So I'm trying to find a way around that so they don't have to necessarily out themselves if they are lurkers, and that's why they came to Lurkers Logic, right?
Yeah, Jen says she's going live Wednesdays and Sundays now.
Okay. Yep. So you were the person we had in mind because we picked Wednesday and realized that you had to change your schedule a little bit. So we wanted to do that because you get a good crowd there. Thank you, Casey, and good night, Kimberly. Thank you so much, you guys, for coming. Thank you, Giggles, everybody in the chat, everybody lurking, listening, sitting in your. You'll be here for it, sis. People sitting in your kitchen bitching. You just started lurking. Hi, CCK. Welcome. Good, good, good.
Thank you. Thank you, Next.
Yes, and thank you
Thanks,
guys.
mods.
Yeah, I really. And if you guys have some suggestions and you feel comfortable leaving them in the comments, do so. I can probably set up an email. I can't guarantee that I'm timely with email because I'm not always good about it. But we can see if maybe we can get some way for you guys to reach out and what do you call that? Anonymously, because yeah, you can anonymously send in suggestions if you feel comfortable emailing. Some people don't. Hey, CCK. Thank you so much. And again,
Thanks,
I'll be
Brian.
funny. Yes, thank you, Brian. Again, happy Memorial Day to all of you guys. I hope you all had a beautiful weekend. And once again, thank you to all of our um, local and foreign service and men and women in uniform who protect us and serve our country and put their life on the
Yes.
line every damn
Thank
day,
you.
and all the people that support them. Thank you
And
so
can
much.
I want to say one more thing before we jump off here. Anyone in this community is welcome in our chat. It
Right.
doesn't matter who your favorite creator is. You're welcome to chat in here. Just want to make that clear.
Right. Nobody's going to get like run out. Not by us anyway. Nobody's going to get run out by us. I can't promise what other people are going to do, but I promise I won't. We're not going to be. It's good to see all the faces. Thank you so much, you guys. All right. Have a
All right.
beautiful
Good
evening. I hope you
night.
have a wonderful week. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next Monday, allegedly.
Bye.
Okay. Bye. Thanks, guys and girls.